So one of the most important pieces to makeup, as far as I'm concerned, is to make sure that your face canvas is on point. So I like to prep my skin with Dermalogica. It has SPF in it, it's 50. It's great for moisturizing, and it's just really good to start off with a nice smooth face. I do invest in my skin, but I also don't spend too much money on skincare. I do read ingredients. I also am pretty real when it comes to, you pick and choose your battles as far as moderation when it comes to skincare and chemicals and all that jazz. And this is what works for me. So there you have it. What I like to do is start with a makeup sponge. Love these. You can get them. They actually are linked in my bio on my Amazon shop. And then I use a little bit of a rose water to moisten. This is the most important part about these sponges. You have to make them moist. And then my favorite foundation is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. It is by far the best full coverage foundation I've ever worn, as long as you use a sponge to put it on. It is so full coverage that it can end up a little bit cakey if you aren't on top of keeping your sponge moist. So basically what you want to do is just dab it and then just go ahead and start going over all the areas that you see. I have a lot of red in my skin, so I have to be careful to not use something too pinky and too yellowy. So this shade that I'm wearing right now is 2N2, but for summer I was 3C1. And so around like winter time, I'll start mixing the two together, because then it's kind of a true tone as to where I'm at. Like, I'm not in the sun very much during winter, but I also don't want to look like a ghost. So I have to be careful to have like a good color to where I don't, look like I got a spray tan or anything weird. And so all you want to do, you guys, is just keep making little bounces on the face with the sponge. This is gonna really help saturate it into any fine lines and just smoothen those lines out. We all have fine lines normally, unless you're just blessed. I unfortunately am not. I do have a little assistance in that arena, and I am not afraid to share that I do get Botox, everybody. It is become part of my world, but I don't get it very often, and I also don't want to look like a freak. So I have a good lady for that. Katie, I love you. Okay, so I'm finishing off around my forehead and then around the eye as well, all the way down. And I do like to go over the lip area. Make sure you go in between your nose and you don't have any smears or anything. And then I carry it down just a smidge. Okay, so that is my basic face foundation. And then I go in with the Shape Tape, which I love. I tried so hard to drag my feet and not use it, but guys, it's really good. It's also on my shop and my makeup faves. So what I do is I go in a little bit of a point shape and just apply it with a wand. It is very full coverage, so if you are not used to wearing it, I suggest using the smallest dab and then build it as you go, because if not, you might freak out. I'm a makeup girl. I love makeup. I'll die with a full face of makeup. Hopefully somebody will help me and make sure I have a full face. So I just dampened my sponge again, and then I'm gonna go in and literally, I like to make a little bit of a triangle shape and go down in my cheek a little bit, and then all around my eye, because now this Shape Tape acts as my primer for my eyeshadow. So it cuts down on one less step that I have to worry about. I don't have very much time to get ready in the morning, so any little quick tip I can utilize is always very beneficial. So that is just a basic foundation makeup for me. If I do have any blemishes, today I do not, but I'm gonna be 37 in a couple weeks and I still get breakouts. So if I were to get breakouts, I do love the Tarte foundation. This is the light medium. It has a little bit of pink in it, so it actually takes out any blemish that I have on my face with my skin tone. So there you have it. I used my foundation, my moisturizer. This is actually a homemade setting spray, which I made a YouTube video about. It's very cheap. The one that I fell in love with was way too expensive, so I had to get crafty and figure out how to make my own. So I now make my own, and I use the organic rose water. It's really, really good. So like I said, it's in my YouTube video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day.